Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah, we meet again on the air in another edition of Man and Nature, produced by Batrisyia Afrina. I'm your host, Sheikh Muhammad Saifuddeen with Sheikh Muhammad Salleh, and today we have another interesting topic lined up for discussion. And our topic this week is balancing sustainability with green initiatives. As usual, I'm not alone in the studio. We have a special guest today to share her views, experience and expertise on the topic that we have chosen for discussion this week. Alhamdulillah, accompanying me in the studio is Dr. Hajah Yatela Zainal Abidin, who is the Chief Executive Officer of Yayasan Sime Darby. Assalamualaikum and welcome to Man and Nature, Doctor.
Waalaikumsalam, Dr. Shaikh, and thank you for having me on this program.
It's indeed a pleasure. Thank you for accepting our invitation. Let's move on, Doctor, to our question. I think some of our listeners may want to know more about Yayasan Sime Darby. Perhaps it's best if we begin our discussion by you giving us a brief introduction about Yayasan Sime Darby.
Okay. So Yayasan Sime Darby, or Sime Darby Foundation, called YSD for short. I say that it is the oldest corporate charity foundation in the country. We were set up in 1982, and we focus on 5 pillars. Mm-hmm. Our vision is to lead and make a sustainable impact and a difference in the lives of others. And our mission is that we are dedicated to enhancing lives and delivering sustainable values through the 5 pillars, which are education, environment, community and health, sports and arts and culture.
Sports, yeah.
And arts and culture. And we have, over the years, already contributed to various projects across these 5 pillars, about 1.1 billion ringgit Malaysia. And how we do our projects is either we do it on our own, we spearhead, or mainly we work with NGOs, with universities, with other like-minded organizations, even the government agencies here, on all work that has to do with sustainable development.
Right. As long as they are in line with the 5 pillars that you mentioned.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That I think that's a good introduction, so that at least our listeners are aware of what Yayasan Sime Darby is and what it stands for.
One thing I'd like to also add is that we are the philanthropic arm of 3 very different companies.
Okay, that's interesting.
So first is Sime Darby Berhad. Second is SD Guthrie Berhad.
Okay.
And the third is Sime Darby Property Berhad. They are 3 very different companies. They donate to us to do philanthropy for them.
Right. So this is part of their corporate social responsibility.
Yes, and ESG framework as well.
That's right. Okay, from what I understand, based on what you have explained, also from what I've read, Yayasan Sime Darby is involved in many sectors. As you mentioned, the 5 pillars: education, environment, community and health, sports, and also culture. So in terms of environment, what are the focus areas of Yayasan Sime Darby?
We do a lot of things under the environment pillar, but we can maybe break them up into 3 main focus areas. The first is biodiversity conservation protection. That will cover terrestrial, on land, marine ecosystems in the water, as well as coastal, in the middle of land and water. So we look at both fauna and flora, where we try to save, together with our partners, endangered species, looking at human animal species conflict or coexistence, as well as saving their habitats. It can be in the forest, it can be corals, it can be in the water, it can be the mangrove, peatlands. So we're focusing on those for conservation work on the ground. Second would be education and awareness. So important that we work with schools, work with the public, awareness campaigns. We also have produced with like-minded organizations high quality short video documentaries. For example, Layaliya, Borneo Ocean Diaries, Borneo Jungle Diaries, like a series of videos, all free to watch on YouTube.
Which channel is that?
YouTube.
I mean under Yayasan Sime Darby?
It has its own channels.
Right, okay.
So like for example, Layaliya, you just go on YouTube. Layaliya is a whole, first phase was 52 and second phase another 20.
So can I say that's something like our National Geographics?
Yes, that kind of quality.
Right, okay.
Yes. And then that's the second. So it's education with the schools, with the public, and then with through the internet and social media, etc. Number 3 is food security.
Okay.
Where we work with different organizations to do different things on food security, like with the Orang Asli on regenerative agroforestry, so that they can revitalize the health of the land that they are, so that they have security. They have something to eat in times like really, really bad time, like for example COVID, no money to buy anything. So they have in their backyard food. That's food security. And then we have also saving food from being thrown, nutritious food, being thrown into landfills. And we save this food before they are being thrown away and, greenhouse gas emissions and everything. We give to the B40s. And we also work with, like for example, Nottingham University on alternative food crops.
Right.
Those which are more resilient to climate change. So we work with research, because we also focus on research as well, to come up with ideas how to come up with good, interesting food from these alternative food crops like barambah nut, like moringa, and then we give that knowledge to B40 women so that they can, and then they can learn and have so this livelihood. So there's 3 main big areas lah: conservation, biodiversity, and then we have education awareness, and then we have food security.
Interesting. So you've given some examples, but perhaps you'd like to elaborate some more on how Yayasan Sime Darby actually supports sustainable development, maybe some of the initiatives undertaken by the foundation.
Okay. So sustainable development is how we meet our needs today, while not compromising the needs of the future generations in the future,
right,
and how they meet their needs. So what we do today, we have to have our prosperity, our economic growth, right? And then, but we have to look at social inclusion as well, right? And then with all this, we have to look at environment protection. That is sustainable development, and these ideas form the foundation of the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, the 17 United Nations SDGs, and our 5 pillars align. So all the work that we do under our 5 pillars align with the 17 SDGs. And so some examples on how we touch these 3 sustainable development pillars, looking at economic, looking at social inclusion, looking at environment protection. I'll give you one good example is our work with Global Environment Center with B40 community social inclusion, and teach them how they can plant mangrove and take care of the mangrove and the importance of mangroves for the future, not only for them now. So they have to plant so that water doesn't go, and their the beaches are not eroded, right? So they are also safe now. And then we also teach them how to live off the mangrove that they grow and they save. Like we look at baramba fruit. We look at different kinds of leaves from the mangrove, and we teach them how to come up with products like cordials, with jam, with all kinds of things that they can market. We all have products that are already also halal certified,
right,
and approved by IKIM, Mohd, that is safe for consumption. So working with them, we make sure that they have a livelihood while taking care of the environment for themselves today and for the future generations, because they understand the importance. And then with that, having the livelihood together with the environment conservation is a win-win. So they will need to take care of the environment in order for them to have a livelihood.
right.
So, and then we can have a good future for them, not only for them, intergeneration as well. Their children understand importance as well. Their children will take care after that as well.
Right. I think in essence what is important here is also, like you said, one of the activities is on education and awareness, because I think if people don't see the importance of looking after the environment, then definitely they will only look at the dollars and cents. So I think that's basically what you're doing, what you have described to me. What Yayasan Sime Darby is doing is very much Islamic, because we are looking after the environment and ensuring that the socio-economic aspect is also well looked after. Now, Doctor, I remember in one of my guests last year in Man and Nature actually said this: conservation without funding is only conversation. So just I'd like to ask your views on that phrase.
Yes, it does take funding in order to get things done, but we believe that we invest in projects where we are catalysts for things, and we leave after once they can take care of themselves. A good example is the Sun Bear in Sabah, where we worked with the Borneo Sun Bear Conservation Center. So we assisted them. We built some infrastructure for the sun bears that are rescued from people's houses, and people actually
they keep them as
they buy it's endangered animal, and they buy it. They don't know the importance of them being in the wild, and they don't know that these cute little small bears will grow up to be big ferocious animals at one time. So it's against the law actually. So we rescue them and we put them in a sanctuary, and we try to assimilate them, put them into the jungle so that they can learn how to take care of themselves before we release them out later on. So in this place where we put in a lot of funding, we have to let them go after a while because they have tourists coming in to look at the sun bears. So they get the income from there.
Okay.
And then we let go. So it's a very good story that after we came in to support, we let go. So funding is important, but how much also is one, and how long that you need to fund. But it is. So any organization, it doesn't have to always be about funding as well. It can be resources. It can be putting your time. A lot of NGOs and all that. I'm on the board of a few charity organizations. You put in your time is equal more than money as well. So your expertise, your connections, your networks to help with the cause is also very important. So it's a mix of everything, but yes.
It's not just about money. Money is important, but of course you need the contributions from people themselves.
Yes. It's the passion.
That's right.
It's the knowing of the importance of that cause to support, and you help wherever you can. You don't have the money, you have the passion.
Right.
So it's not always about the money, but it's about the actions on the ground that matters. Yeah.
Before we came into the studio, we had a short conversation outside, and you mentioned that there will be some programs to be held in Terengganu next month.
Yes, that's on the 21st of June. We're going to be celebrating World Environment Day. It's usually on the 5th of June every year, together with World Ocean Day, which is held on the 8th of June every year. So we've been doing it in the month of June, which is usually for environment. Like usually we celebrate in the month of June. Every year we celebrate what we do. Last year I think it was on Central Forest Pine. We focus on things on land, but this year we want to focus on marine conservation, because we also do together marine conservation. It's like Laya Lia, the I was mentioning just now. It has a very cute saying. Kita kenal, kita cinta.
Okay.
Kita cinta, kita lindungi. Only if you understand it, you will love, and only when you love it will you protect it for your future generations, right? So most of us, we can see things on the ground because we live on land, but we don't understand how important marine conservation is to us. 70% of the world is water. We have to ensure that we conserve the whole globe, most of it which is water. So we need to also realize what is important in marine. So we're doing something in Dungun on the 21st to launch a website to assist with marine conservation, together with this, the Department of Fisheries, as well as other NGOs who will be supplying content together with Fuse Ecotier, the partner that we have, Marine Research Foundation, Maraset, Reef Check, Pulihara, all coming together to put in content for Fuse Ecotiers website to be launched, and highlighting the importance of marine conservation as well as all the other conservation work that we're doing on human animal conflict management or human coexistence, like what we do with orangutans or with the hornbills or with the elephants. It's so important to also live together in harmony with marine mammals, with marine megafauna, with turtles, with coral. It's so important for us to focus on both. So we want to highlight marine this time.
I think you made a very important point about the importance of the marine ecosystem. I've read that some scientists have said that we know more about the outer space than we do about the marine ecosystem. A lot of it is very much a mystery to many of us. So I think what you are doing with Yayasan Sime Darby is very much something that we must applaud. This is something that should be emulated by everyone and be supported by everyone. Doctor, out of curiosity, I understand that you are an avid scuba diver.
Yeah.
How does that come about?
Oh, my husband and I, we just started to go and we took our license because we were curious. Because we had friends who were diving and we were just curious, and we went in we did our Hajj first.
Okay.
Of course, we had to do Hajj first, 2011. And after we selesaikan finished what we needed to do, then we went into diving. I took our license 2012.
Right.
And from then on, no turning back. And he is an avid photographer. I'm a videographer. I take videos underwater.
Right.
And we both love it. And then while we dive, not only do we meet interesting people, have different perspectives about all kinds of things, including religion, but we also understand the importance of the marine life. And because we go in and we see with our own eyes, the different world, the most beautiful, colorful world with the weirdest of Allah's creatures in the water, we grow to love it. And as much as we love things that we see on the land, even more so, because it's a hobby of ours, right? So then we can see we need to have more people understanding the importance of it. Maybe if you cannot go into the water, maybe you can see it on videos or on YouTube, etc. But you'll need to understand before you believe that it is important. Yeah.
Right. As a Muslim, when you go scuba diving, you see all kinds of wonderment, creation of Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. How does it feel? Do you feel that you feel closer to the Creator?
Yes, I do. Yeah, because it's like you just see all His wonders with your own eyes. You cannot believe that, for example, a speck of I can see with my own eyes, with just my naked eye, it's just a speck of sand. I thought it's a speck of sand. My husband will take a picture, and then when it's blown up, it's a beautiful nudie branch that looks like Shaun the Sheep, and it's called Shaun the Sheep.
Okay.
There's another nudie branch. It's so small also. You take a picture, blow it up, it looks like Pikachu, and it's called Pikachu nudie branch.
Okay.
So it's Allah's greatness that makes you feel even more closer to the Creator, because it cannot be suddenly happening. It's something. Yeah.
Subhanallah. Now you make me want to pick up scuba diving.
You should, Dr. Shaikh, you should.
Okay, moving on, Doctor. There are so many initiatives being undertaken by Yayasan Sime Darby. So who are some of the beneficiaries of these initiatives?
Oh, now, of course, the long-term beneficiaries will be our future generations. But right now, whom we are benefiting, as I mentioned just now, the B40s, where we're giving them knowledge and skills for them to be confident and to be empowered to save and look after the environment around them, for them to feel safe as well, to earn some livelihood from that. We have also school children, because we go into schools with programs. We also have researchers in academia. We work with many universities. We give scholarships also to researchers to come up with ways to work with and work with the government as well as the communities, and put their knowledge into action to, for example, save the elephants with human elephant conflict management, which is responsible, so that we can conserve the elephants. With the orangutans, coming up with SOPs, giving them to the organizations plantations and all that, they're also a beneficiary, so that they can live in harmony and safely with elephants, for example. We also have orang aslis, where we work with Rimau, giving them a livelihood, train them to be patrollers. They didn't know how to read also, read or count, but we teach them how to read, to read GPS, to even put up camera traps to conserve tigers and to catch poachers. Just imagine. So orang asli will be the custodians that we train in their homes, which are the forest. And then we also have the public at large, of course, now with Lia, with all with our wild roots, which is on Central Forest Pine. So everyone, I think, is a beneficiary. Right. NGOs, government agencies whom we work with, academia, organizations, social enterprises.
Alhamdulillah, I think everybody benefits from the efforts
we
undertaken.
Hope so,
inshallah.
Because every single ringgit we hope to benefit as many as the biggest impact as possible.
Inshallah. You mentioned about school students. So what role does education play in ensuring that sustainability efforts has traction within the community? Of course, it starts from the young. So what role does Yayasan Sime Darby play in this regard?
Wow, okay. Yayasan Sime Darby, we believe across our 5 pillars, education is a very important thing. Because with education and raising awareness for sustainability will ensure that people understand the importance of living sustainably. They will understand the consequences of inaction. They will see the benefits of if you live sustainably now, how it will benefit their children, their grandchildren in future. And then with that, with this given to the students or youth for that matter, it will help to shape the mindset. It will help to shape how they look at things and give them empowerment also that they can take action and they know what kind of actions to take which is meaningful in order for them to live a sustainable lifestyle. Right. So these are important. It's not only in schools. Of course, it's very important in schools because the mindset change and all that, it is important for kids. But it is also important for communities. Like, for example, I was telling you about the work with the mangroves, right? With the B40s. We started with Kuala Gula as well as Pasir Panjang in Perak with Global Environment Centre. Now we're supporting like 6 areas for B40s around with high erosion in mangrove, yeah? So we have in Perak, we have in Kedah, we have in Johor, we have in Selangor. And these communities connect with each other. And they learn from each other and they become very good friends. So if they have problems anywhere, they connect with each other. So they can feel that they are not in this on their own. Anything also you have to have a support group.
It's a jama'ah basically.
Exactly. And with that kind of support, they feel very empowered, very confident. The kinds of actions that they are taking is good for them today as well as for their children and grandchildren in the future. And with that, this intergeneration knowledge, we can ensure that it will be long term, because the children will see their parents doing this, and the children what they learn from school, etc., etc. Coming up with modules, we come up with modules to teach, and these modules has to be also localized. Orang asli have to have a different type of module, so we have that kind of modules under a different project. We have modules for that kind of community, B40 community. We have in Sabah a different type of modules. We come up with those kind of modules in schools as well. So this gives them to learn about the importance, and then they see their parents doing it. You know that it's going to be a long-term change in mindset that we need to do now, so it will be a way of living. The sustainable values will be there, inshallah, for the future.
I like the words that you use, meaningful action. Because in the Quran there is a verse, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu lima taquluna ma la taf'alun. O you who believe, why do you say that which you do not do? So basically what Yayasan Sime Darby is doing to me is basically translating what people have been saying into meaningful action. I think this is very much a very important point that we need to highlight. Dr. Yatela, earlier on when we start our conversation, you mentioned that Sime Darby is involved with a number of sectors. So in your opinion, can sectors like automotive, construction and also plantation be balanced with biodiversity conservation to ensure sustainable development?
It is not only possible, it is necessary. Right. It is a must for organizations, no matter how big or small, no matter what kind of responsibility the actions it is their responsibility to do it. So as you mentioned just now, Dr. Shaikh, you have automotive. Sime Darby Berhad, one of our donors, does cars, right? So they can, right now you can see they're moving into electric cars, more sustainable. They can look into all kinds of other things as well, sustainable supply, logistics, circular solutions where you can do recycled parts, recycled tires, etc. And then you have Guthrie. Guthrie as in plantations, right? Plantations was the founder of RSPO, Roundtable Sustainable Palm Oil. They're founder from long ago in that, and they practice what they preach. They set aside high value conservation areas to make sure that they have proper high value conservation in their areas of plantations. That's just one of the things that they do. They don't burn, etc., all under RSPO. Then you have construction, right? Like Sime Darby property. You just look at Elmina, how they conserve the water bodies, etc., and then we live in nature. So the residents also feel part of nature and understand the importance of nature. So all these three companies, you can see that they are doing so many things all these years, not only donating to Yayasan Sime Darby to do all the work that we do for sustainable development for outside communities, but within their own operations as well. So important, but it takes commitment, strong commitment. It takes working with the right stakeholders. Stakeholders means government agencies, academia, NGOs. Like for example, the Sustainable Chair, IKIM YSD Sustainability Chair. So that chair is where Plantation and Guthrie works together with IKIM, with YSD, and coming up with solutions for the industry that is sustainable. And not only did they give us money to put in the chair, which is not a small amount, it's 15 million for endowment, they themselves, on top of that, come up with more funding to go into specific areas of sustainability. Research is what we do. So yes, and we also give scholarships for researchers under this chair as well, like how we give researchers in for elephants and orangutans and hornbills, and we focus on research with all these scholarships as well that we give. So you can see that it is a big importance that we work with all kinds of stakeholders. You can't do it on your own, number one. Of course, it takes a will with the policies and procedures from the government as well, and going into with academia, with NGOs, etc. We can't do it on our own, but we can achieve this, inshallah, when we work together.
The important thing is everybody has passion and a shared objective. Right, Doctor, we are coming to the end of our program. Perhaps you have some concluding remarks that you'd like to share with our listeners?
All right. I think that every single person, no matter what you feel that you can contribute, just contribute. If you do not know how, look it up. There's so many kinds of channels to learn. Like for example, today's channel, or go onto Facebook or Instagram or whatever social media or YouTube and learn about what you can do in your small capacity. Don't think that it's not important. Your capacity as individual, your capacity in your organization, your capacity to spread the word to everybody is important, that we all come in together to change our mindset, because it is time. Climate change is upon us. The crisis is already here. We need to try and mitigate, we try and adapt, but we need to take actions today so our future generations will feel it less than what we are feeling today, inshallah.
I think that nicely wraps up our discussion today, Dr. Yatela. Thank you for sharing your insights today, and I think personally I've really enjoyed our discussion and conversation, and I hope that our discussion has been beneficial and also informative to everyone who has been listening. We have come to the end of our program for today. I'd like to record my sincerest gratitude to Dr. Hajah Yatela Zainal Abidin, Chief Executive Officer of Yayasan Sime Darby, for gracing Man and Nature this week. Thank you again, Doctor. I hope that we'll have other opportunities to be together on air in the future, inshallah. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the last 30 minutes, you've been listening to Man and Nature. I'm Sheikh Muhammad Saifuddeen with Sheikh Muhammad Salleh, signing off until next week. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.